Okay, so I'm going to start off by letting you know that I had a number of people ask me to show some unique aspects of adding family members. So I'm going to do so before I get into the memories portion of tonight, which deals with photographs and other sort of memories. So I want to talk about, I'll go back one more thing in my mind. During the second week, as I was sharing about a person's page and the individual toolbar on a person's page, so this is one of my ancestors, Johann, and his toolbar is underneath his photo: details, timelines, sources, collaborate. I wanted to show you what collaborate is used for. And I would encourage you, when you open a person page, to take a look and see if there's a number beside the word collaborate. If there is, that means there's something in there to read, which will help you potentially because someone else has written something. So as I go to collaborate, I can see, I know that I added both of these. You can't tell that right now, but siblings of Johann and Ursula Zaff. So I click in to siblings of Johann, and I wrote this message, and I know I wrote it because at the bottom is my name and the date. So I wrote, a family tree on ancestry.ca shows that Johann had many siblings. And then I put the link to that ancestry page, and then I write the additional siblings, and then I write, I'm attempting to find sources to document or prove they existed, and then I'll add them to the family tree. So right now I can't find documentation that these siblings ever existed, so I hesitate to put them in family tree, but once I do, I will. So I've just written a note here. If someone else finds it, they may wish to work on this with me. So I can edit it if I wish, or delete it, or right now I'm just going to close it so I'm on the top right. My second note in Collaborate is about an Ursula. There's an Ursula Zaff that lived with the family in 1871 when the census was taken. She was 77 years old at the time and noted as a widow. I am unsure as to who she is. So if someone's working on this particular portion of the family tree, they may wish to look into who this Ursula is, who had the same name as the family. So I'm just showing you what types of things you would put in Collaborate. Okay, moving on now, I want to share with you about adding additional spouses. And I'm going to go to a different individual in my family tree. And as I don't have her open yet, I have my family tree open. Not that I'm going to use it. I'm actually going to go to family tree, go down to find, and I'm going to select that, and I'm going to put in her ID number, and we will move to her page. So I'm just reading off my notes here. I'm looking for an Emily Marie. There she is. So what I want to share with you is that Emily here was married more than once. And if we go down to her family members section, we can see she's the one in bold. We can see she was married to a Paul Dossman. She was married to a Donald Berenger. And I also have her listed with no spouse. That's because if I open up children, she actually had a child out of wedlock. So he's listed here. So Emily with no spouse with a child. Emily has a second marriage listed with 2 children, and her first marriage listed has a child. So there's lots of ways to indicate family relationships. So how do we actually add these people like this? So in a case like this, where you want to add an additional spouse to Emily, and her name's here at the top, you would add spouse. Once I select this, it's going to bring up the search box, and I would put in his name. And if that individual is already in FamilySearch or someone with that name, I have an option of selecting him or her or not. So that's how you would add an additional spouse. And then if there are children, here's the box for adding children. How did I add a child without a spouse? That's because at the bottom, right here, it says add child with an unknown father. And if this ancestor was male, this would read add child with an unknown mother. And that's how I get to this section here, where she's not married, but she has a child. If after I've explained all these family relationships, you still have a question, I'm here at the end to help you. I want to share about marriage and or divorce. So I'm going to open up an additional ancestor now and show you where this ancestor was married and divorced and married again. So I'm going to my find option. I have these numbers in my notes. These numbers are not in my head, and they're not listed anywhere in FamilySearch. I just happen to be pulling them up as I prepare for this and then keeping note of them so I have them when I talk with you. I'm looking for Myrtle. Here she is. So I go down to Myrtle's family members, and I can see she's been married twice, once, twice. The first marriage actually ends in divorce. And if I go to the right-hand side of this marriage square, this couples square, there's a pencil. I select that. This is where you would add marriage details. See, add event, and I select marriage. But add event, I selected divorce, and I noted the divorce date. So I'll show you what that looks like. Add event. It always shows marriage, but there's a drop-down arrow on the right-hand side, and then you would select anything else that's applicable. So that's how you note a divorce. All right, different types of family relationships in terms of the children. So there are children in this marriage. No, they're not. Maybe there's no children in any marriage. Let me go to an ancestor that has a child. No, I know there's a child here. Okay, if I select the child, the edit pencil off the child, just stay with me here because it's kind of confusing. I'm at the child and I'm editing, but then I have to go to the parent. Myrtle is the mother, and I have to select add relationship type. Biological is the default, but you can also select those other options: adoptive, foster, guardianship, or step. So just keep in mind that you start at the child, but then once you're inside, you have to go to the mother and add a relationship type. And if there was a father, in this situation, she was a child out of wedlock, so there's no father. If there, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm incorrect. I am on the, no, that's the Myrtle, the mother, right? If there was a father, then it would also be a relationship type on the father's side also, on his profile also. All right. Adding a parent who is not married and adding the other parent also. So what I'm going to do is go to another ancestor. Who I can get to quickly when I follow my family tree. So I'm going to go to my tree. I'm going to expand my tree just to get to the end of the line. And I'm going to select Robert. Now with family, in the family members section, I have Robert McClinchy with a father. I don't know his name yet, but I assumed his surname is McClinchy. Now, if, for example, Robert's parents were not married, I would not add a spouse because that would mean these two individuals are married. I would instead add a parent. In this case, Robert will show up under McClinchy's profile and under his mother's profile, and they will not show on the same page. So that's how you add a parent when the parents are not married and you don't want them to show as a couple. You click add a parent. And the final thing I wish to show you is how to unclick or unlink a family member that shouldn't be there. So I'm going to take you to a real live example that I found this week in preparation for this presentation. Mary Jane Blamford. She's a distant relative of mine. And if I go down to family members, here's Mary Jane, and she's married to John Robert Webster. But Mary Jane's last name is Blamford, and it's showing that Mary Jane's parents are John Webster and Sarah Jane Johnson. Take note of the Webster. Take note that Mary Jane Blamford's father's name is Webster. So right away, that caught my eye. She's married to John Robert Webster. Take a look at his ID, ends in SJS. He is noted down here, John Robert Webster, his ID ends in SJS. So if you look closely at the children, scroll down a bit here. If you look closely at these are the parents and these are the children listed below. Mary Jane is listed as a child and John Robert Webster is listed as a child. So someone working on this line of the family tree has married or has placed Mary Jane as a child, and she shouldn't be, because if that was correct, she's married her brother. These are siblings here, supposed to be. So Mary Jane's in the wrong spot. She's a sister-in-law. She's not a sister. So what I want to do is go into her edit pencil, and I want to remove or replace the parents she's under, John and Sarah. So I click on that. Removing a person or replacing a person, there's paragraph to read, which I have previously read. And I have reviewed the relationships. I have to check that. And I am going to remove her from this parent. And she is linked incorrectly. Hard for me to type fast when I'm on a laptop. I love my PC better. Okay, she's linked incorrectly and is the daughter-in-law. So remove. Now I also have to go back there and unlink her from the mother right here. And I copied my previous statement, so I'm just pasting it in. Okay, so Mary Jane at this point doesn't have any parents listed. I'll have to go back and see if I can find out who her parents are. But if I go to her husband's page, we'll see that he is still listed with his parents. He was married twice. Here's Mary Jane. John is listed with his siblings and Mary Jane Blandford is no longer listed with his siblings. So that is all correct now. Okay, I'm going to move into memories now, and we will take a look at how we work with memories and the fun things you can do with memories. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to go home to the first screen you see when you get into FamilySearch, and let you know that there's two ways of arriving at memories. And the first way is right here off the home page, Memories. And there are 4 subsections under Memories. The first one is a quick overview as to what memories are. The second one is the gallery, which contains all of your memories. The third one are people. This is if you wish to look at who you have memories in. So these are all ancestors within my family tree that are close, because it is a world family tree, but these are like direct descendants or their children. And these are people who have memories in their person page or attached to them. And the fourth one is find. This find, though, I want to say, is for the entire family tree, not just your section of the family tree. So as an example, I've put in World War I. I'm going to demonstrate this and keep it in mind because I'm going to come back to it later. World War I, and if you'll notice, there are 10,000 results. So within FamilySearch, family tree, there are 10,000 memories that have WW1 in the text somewhere. And that's what I get when I use the find off of the main memories page. I'm going to go to my gallery because that's where we'll be focusing today. But I'm also going to go to an ancestor who has a memory and show you that the second way to get into memories is to be on the person page of one of your ancestors, and on the person page toolbar, come over to Memories and select it. And then you will see the memory that's inside that ancestor's person page. So this ancestor has one memory, as indicated here, photo of his tombstone. Coming back to my gallery tab, I want to show you how to add memories at this point, how to get all of this into the memories gallery. Before I do that, let me explain what the toolbars are. So when I was on the main page and showing you the 4 items in memories, I want to show you that that same toolbar is at the top of each one of those pages. And here it is on the top of the galleries page on the top left. The toolbar within the gallery, this is showing each memory as a tile. This is known as a tile when it's a little square. Photographs only. So these tiles are all the memories. Photographs only. Stories only, which I have none. Documents only. And audio recordings only, of which I have none. Or go back to this, that shows all of my memories. As I move across to the right-hand side of my page, I can arrange my memories in various ways. So the newest ones added are showing here at the top. If I choose to sort them alphabetically, they do so. Maybe I choose to sort the ones that have no title. This is actually helpful because now I can go in and add a title to these memories. The ones that are not tagged, and I'm going to show you what tagging means today. These memories are not tagged. Memories that are not in an album happens to be all of them. I'm going to demonstrate how to make an album today. Memories that are private and memories that are public. There shouldn't be any showing in private. I don't have any private ones. They're all public. So going back to newest added, let's keep it that way. Now I'm going to share with you, I'm looking at the memories here in the tile format, but I can also look at them in a chart format. So first column has the title that's been given to the memory with a little picture of it. The second column is the date, any dates associated with it. The third column is any information in terms of location. And if I wish to find or search for a memory, I'm going to put in WW1 again as an example. And I want you to note only 2 memories came up with World War I. This particular search or find is specific to the memories in my gallery. And I have 2 memories of WW1, not 10,000. So just keep that in mind. Memories you're searching in your own gallery, use this magnifying glass. Memories you want to find in the entire family tree, use this find option under the main memories. Okay. If you don't see all of your memories, and I'll tell you right now, I have 69 of them, my memories. I'm only seeing 2. Clear the search field and they'll all come back. I like to look at them in the tile format, so I'm going back this way. Okay, how to add memories. There's 2 approaches to adding a memory into your gallery. Even before that, let me explain the left side toolbar here. So all the memories arrive in what's called My Memories. I have 69 memories at the moment. Archives is really just another folder like Memories. If I was to select a memory, I'll select this one. I use this action drop down arrow to indicate that I want to move it, and I move it to Archives. Take note of what happens to this 69. I'm moving it to Archives. There are now 68 memories and 1 in Archives. I just want to say Archives is not how we typically use the word archives, meaning it's put into storage and we forget about it and it's there, but we've forgotten. It's really just a memories folder number 2. They have named it Archives, but I would just like to say that it's more like a My Memories folder number 2. Anything between My Memories and Archives is everything that you have, and it's easy to work on. I'm moving this back to My Memories. So 69 memories here. Recently deleted is 0. Let me demonstrate deleting an archive. No, I'll show you that a little bit later. Not deleting an archive, deleting a memory. This is a bookmark entitled My Memories. I'll demonstrate that right now. I've selected this particular memory. I go up to Actions. You know what? It doesn't show this way. I have to double click my memory to open it large. And right here, it says Bookmark. This is where I bookmark it. Now I go back to my gallery at the top left. I just want you to know that I have 1 bookmark, and if I select that, it will show me that. But I also want you to see that in My Memories, they're still showing 69, and it's still here in the gallery. Every time you move a memory to a different folder or you bookmark it, I am going to create some albums. It does not remove it from the Memories gallery. It will still stay there. Let's keep that in mind. All right, now as I mentioned before, I'm going to teach you how to add a memory to this gallery. I'm at that point now. So there's two approaches to this. We can be in the gallery already and click Add Memories. Now at this point in time, I am going to add someone who choose files who I've already saved onto my desktop. Well, this is great. I did all this work on my desktop and now I'm on my laptop, so that's not going to help very much. Let me just select someone I already have here. It says it's previously uploaded. Sorry about that. I got this all ready and didn't move over my file. I want you, let me think how to explain this. That's okay. Just picture it in your mind. So you hit this plus symbol. At this point in time, you choose a file. It doesn't matter what type of format your file is in. And it lists them here. They're all added the same way. You just go to your files and you select which one you'd like to have added. I'll add a different one. Okay. There, picture of me. So at this point in time, I've just demonstrated the first way in which to add a memory straight from the gallery. The second way to add a memory is to actually be on your ancestors person page, be in their memories tab, and then upload a document, a photo, what have you. Just cancel this for a moment. This is photo, but if I scroll down the page, I can upload a document, I can create a story, or I can upload an audio. So if you're doing it from the person page, it's not just as simple as hitting the plus sign. You have to know what, am I doing a photo? Am I adding a document, or so on? And then you would select it from where you've saved it. So the same thing applies. Okay, I'm just reading my notes over and making sure I don't skip anything that I wanted to share with you. Okay, I'm going back to my gallery and I'm going to open up this picture of myself. You double click it to open it. Here's where you want to add all the information about this picture that helps you remember it, helps make it significant to the person you're going to attach it to or put into their person page. And for anyone else, because these are public, anyone else who looks at it will know what it's about. So this is where you add your title. And I'm just adding something silly here because this was not the picture I wanted to put in. And I save it. Now, if after I save it, I look at it and say, you know what, that's really not what I wanted to say. You just go back up to the top and you edit the title. And I'm just going to take out my name and I'm going to capitalize the me. Sorry, my cursor is moving. And save it again. So it's really easy to edit. Now, on the right-hand side, I'm going to add a topic tag. Maybe my topic tag is, my last name is Latchman now. Maybe if I'm looking at all of my memories and I want to find all of the Latchmans really fast, I can find it under this. My maiden name was McClinchy. Maybe I'm going to do a search one day and I want to find really quickly all the McClinchy memories. Maybe I'm doing a search one day for all the memories that have green shirt. And so it's kind of silly, but I've just created a memory called green shirt. So these are descriptors that when you're searching for memories later on, now I have 69 memories, but you're allowed up to 5,000 memories. There's really no limit in FamilySearch to how many memories, but I did read in FamilySearch in preparation for this presentation that you can have up to 5,000 memories before the system starts to really slow down and the pages don't load as quickly, etc. So if I had 5,000, then I'd really want to use this keyword search. So it's here, and I hit save, that you're putting topic tags. So when you want to find this picture later, you can type in these tags and find it really fast. I can add an event date right here. Say this is the 1st of May, and I did it in 2019. I'm just making this up. And I select what's offered to me, and I save. And then this was in Toronto. And I select what's offered to me, and I save. Then I might want to add a description about this. Now, this description box, I just wish to, Green Shirt Day. I just wish to let you know that as you're writing a description, this box expands. On the bottom right, I can show you that it continues to open up. So it takes quite a bit of text. Don't think that you have to be limited with this little box. It becomes much larger as you type. I'm going to talk about albums in a minute. I don't have a story to add. If you're looking through your family tree and you see that one of your ancestors has a memory and you did not add that memory, you can go into that memory, say for example, a picture, and on the bottom right here, you can see when it was created and by whom. And this was the file name that I had saved it by originally. So you can see that information at the bottom right. So now I go up to the top here. I want to show you public versus private. If I select public, then this will show in the family tree once I attach it to someone. It's currently in my gallery and no one has access to my gallery but me. But once I place this into a person page, into someone's memory tab on their person page, then it's public. But if for any reason you wish it to be private, you would select that. Now, as I am the one that added this picture, I am the one who can make this public or private. No one else can touch it that way but me. Someone else can come in and add information over here, edit it, but they cannot make it private. And something else that's interesting to note, you cannot delete a memory that someone else has added. You can only delete a memory that you have added. So keep that in mind. All right, now, this is a particular memory in my gallery. I'm at the top left and I select gallery. And here it is. Now, actually didn't add a tag. Let me see if it's that point to share about tags yet. Not yet. I'm going to show you something else. If for any reason I wanted to delete a memory that's in my gallery, I would select it by putting a check mark. Now, every time you put a check mark next to, a memory, it indicates on the within the blue header how many are selected. So I have one selected. Now, I go up to actions and I select delete. It's at the bottom with a little garbage can. It says, deleting this memory also deletes associated tags, dates, and places. Any audio recordings associated with this image is removed and cannot be reassociated. All deleted images go to the recently deleted collection located in the gallery for 120 days before permanent deletion. So that's what I wanted to highlight to you. I'm actually going to do it. Now, it's still showing 70 memories because this one is in here and I will get rid of it later. But it was 71 before I deleted myself. I'm going into recently deleted on the left-hand side here, and I find myself. This notification under recently deleted is still here. This picture will sit here for 120 days before being permanently deleted by FamilySearch. If in that 120 days I change my mind, I put a little check mark on it. I go to actions and I move it back to my memories. It jumped up to 71 again. And there I am back inside the gallery. So it's a safety point so that you don't accidentally delete something that you mistakenly didn't want to do. You can go back and you can retrieve it. All right, now let's talk about adding any memories here in the gallery to a person page. And I already talked about how you can actually go to the person page and go to the memories box and you can upload, or you can select from gallery within any of these categories. The second way that you can get a memory into a person page is by adding a profile picture. Now I'm going to do that on this particular ancestor, even though it's not him. I'm just going to use it at, oh, he has something there, so I won't use him. I'll pick one who doesn't have a profile picture or article. So John Taylor, you select the little picture next to his name and it says add portrait. And at this point, you can upload a new photo or you can select from gallery. I'm going to select from gallery. And I'm actually going to pick a picture that has multiple faces in it. This is not really him. I will be deleting it. But I've selected this particular photo. It has a blue circle in the top right, and I'm attaching it now. When the picture comes up, it's going to look something like this. The entire picture takes in the square, but where the circle is what's going to show on the profile picture. I am going to select this man right here, but I want his picture to be a little bit bigger. So on this line, I'm going to increase the photo size. And at this time, you can move the photo still, recenter it, make it a little bit bigger if you need to. And then I select Save as Portrait. Now it takes a few minutes to load. It's actually loading right now, this little time clock. So I'm going to come back to him. I want to let you know that the third way to put a picture into someone's person page, a memory into someone's person page, is by tagging them in a photo. So I'm going back to gallery. I'm actually going to add a tag to this picture that I just put up here. So on the top right, it says click the image to tag people. So I click the image and a square comes up. At this time, use the four-headed arrow to grab the border of the square and move it to the top left of your picture. Person's face, I should say, not the picture, the person's face. And then use the green circle and using your mouse and scroll bar, pull down until you get it where you want. And it can still be moved around, okay? And then you want to add the person's name. And this is me, so I'm selecting me. And on the top right, there is one person in this photo, and it indicates who it is. So at any time you scroll over the photo, you can see who's tagged in the photo. I'm going back to my gallery. I'm on the top left, selecting gallery. I want to show you this particular photo. I'm going to double click on it. This particular photo has all of the children. Oh, the parents and the children. And there's quite a few of them in this picture. So this is how tags help you. As you go over the picture, you can see everybody's name. Now, because I've tagged these people, they automatically went into their person page. So because I just added myself today, and that was nice and new, I am going to demonstrate how in my profile, there is now that picture of me. So let me go back to my gallery. I am going to open up my tree, and I'm going to show you myself with that picture. And you'll just have to trust me that that picture was not there previous to my adding it just today. So here's me. Open up my person page. I go to my memories. And right now there is a picture of me with a green shirt. I did not add it through my memories right here, and I did not add it by any other means. Just by tagging it, just by putting that tag over my face, it ended up in my memories tab on my person page. So that's how easy it is to get a memory of multiple people into their person page. Just tag their face. Okay, I'm going to teach about creating an album. So there's two approaches to adding an album. The first is right here. Click on New Album. I'm on the left-hand side where it says New Album. And say I want to call this one Tombstone. And I save it. First, I have to spell it correctly. Tombstone. And I save it. Right now, it has 0 memories in it. But I select some tombstones, of which I have quite a number in my gallery. I go up to Actions, and I add to an album. At this point in time, I can create a new album or click on one that's already there. So I click on Tombstone and I add it. I want you to note that there are now four in the memories in the Tombstone album. But see what happened to the total number of my memories? It's still 71. Take note of what these tombstones look like. Green, Hogarth. When I go back to my memories, those tombstones are still here. Even though you move them to a memory or you bookmark them, you move them to an album or you bookmark them, they will still stay in the My Memories folder. Only time they're not in the My Memories folder, and I will demonstrate this by selecting on this green tombstone, is if I move it to My Archive. The My Archive and the My Memories will always total the total number of memories you have. And I'll show you what went to My Archives. This particular tombstone, it is still showing in this album. So albums do not ever take a photo away from the total collection that is in My Memories. And anything that's in My Archive or My Memories will always be the total amount. I'm moving this back to My Memories. So the total is still 71. So I said there was 2 approaches to making an album. One is to click on New Album on the left-hand side. The second way is to select what you'd like to put in an album. So I'm going to select these World War II commemorative flags. I go to Actions, and I'm going to add to album. At this point in time, I'm going to entitle an album, select add to album. And if you look on the bottom left, it now has the World War I I'll just say it outright, World War I commemorative flag memories. But once again, up in my memories, they're still part of the total collection. They will always be part of the total collection. And you can have up to 5,000, so it can get quite extensive. What I'd like to show you is how to edit or work within an album. So this is the album known as Tombstones. Tombstone. Maybe I wish to edit the title and call it Tombstones. I hit an S and save. This album was created by me. If I wish to add a description, I can do so. I don't wish to do so right now. If I wish to share this album, I can do so. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and so on. Or I can copy the URL, which is this particular page in FamilySearch, and then I can paste it to a friend by any means, and they will get to this page instantly when they click on that link. If I wish to reorder the memories within this, I just move them around and save it. And now they're reordered. They're supposed to be reordered. Thought I moved this green to the end. Green doesn't want to move. There we go. Save it. Yes. And you can also see a slideshow. Play it in a loop, meaning it will play over and over. I don't have any audio recording, so I'll deselect that. And I play. This option may be beneficial if you're having, for example, your grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary. You could put all of the photos of them and their family into an album, and then you could play this while at the party or at a funeral gathering or what have you. So it's just a way of showing the memories in this album in a slideshow. You can also share this album from this point also. Top right corner I'm at. And of course, deleting the album. Once I delete the album, I just want you to take note of the pictures in them, these 4 tombstones. Once I delete this album, it has no effect on my overall memories. Those tombstone photos are still here. So it's very hard to get rid of a memory, just so you know. Even though you delete it, it still sticks around for 120 days. That's how important they are. Can't get rid of them. All right. Let me see what else I wanted to share with you. Okay, final thing. You can add a memory as a source on a person page. So let me go to Archibald here. No, I'm going to go to Henry and demonstrate that I did that for him. So he has 2 memories. And if I go into his memories, I can see they are documents, and they both appear to be newspaper clippings. And one's probably an obituary. So if I go to his sources tab, he has 18 sources. If you look down the list, just as a reminder, the tree symbol indicates it came directly from FamilySearch. The Earth or world symbol indicates it comes from another website. It has a URL link in it. And this picture indicates that it is a memory. If I view this source, and it's the 1861 Census of Canada, I actually see there's a memory here. I can view the memory. Once my page loads. It's actually a photograph of the 1861 census, and the family members' names are listed right here. So I'm going to demonstrate how you put this into someone's sources, how you put a memory into someone's sources. So I'm going to my ancestor, whose name is Archibald. Waiting for my... I have quite a few tabs open, so it's taking some time. So this is Archibald, and I'm actually in his memories, and I see a photo of his tombstone. If I did not have a record indicating his death date or burial location or anything of the such, I could actually use this as a source, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do it. He does have a death record, but as an example, I'm going to show you. What I would do is click on Add Source. Now, you can add a new source. This would be, for example, from Ancestry. You can go to your source box, as I demonstrated last week, and select one that's already been manually input and attach it. Or the second choice is Add New Memory Source. So I'm not going to upload a photo from, for example, my hard drive. I'm going to select from the gallery. And the picture of his tombstone is in my gallery. Well, it's supposed to be in my gallery. Once I find it, I'm just going to pick one as an example. I like this green. I know what happened. I did not add that picture of his tombstone, so it's not accessible to me. I would have to save it, which I can. Because all memories are public, you can actually save someone else's memory to your hard drive and then upload it into your gallery if you wish. But for this example, I'm going to select this tombstone photo. I'm going to attach it. And you would put all the other information that makes sense. So I would put tombstone, and I would list his name here. I'm not going to type it all out for time's sake. I would enter the date of his death, say it's 1873. And then scroll down. I would write where I got this, and I would say actual photo of his tombstone, and I would put the cemetery I took the photo at and the city or location it's in. Describe it, it's a photo of his tombstone. Reason to attach the source, you could indicate it's his actual tombstone. Tombstones show name, shows the birth year, it shows the death year, and it shows they're actually buried. And then you would save it, which I will, because I can delete it later. So now, as I go to his sources, I typed in 1873. Here it is, the source. I would open it up, and this is supposed to be his tombstone. This would be his actual tombstone. Now, because I just did that as an example and it's not really, I'm going to detach it. It's going to ask for a reason, which I'm not too eager to give, and it's done. Just let me look over my notes and make sure I didn't miss anything that was important to share with you. Okay, everything seems to be in order. So I'll stop sharing my screen, and I will let you know that next week I'm going to talk about temple ordinance cards, how we know if someone's ready for temple work, how to reserve the temple ordinance cards first, and then how to print them and get them ready to take to the temple. I will also share with you how to contact other users within FamilySearch. And finally, what else is available on the FamilySearch website that makes family history so much fun and and worth doing besides just the family tree. There's so much more than just the family tree on the FamilySearch website. So I'm going to go over that in a brief way next week. Thank you, everyone.